Hi, and welcome everybody to Meet Your Trading Experts live and free. My guest today is Miha from Brazil. We'll be speaking to him reasonably quickly about the way that he trades and the things that he thinks is important. First of all, welcome for joining us for today's show. It's good to have you guys in the room. I know that Mike will be keeping an eye on YouTube and the two Facebook pages as well. If you want to put any questions into YouTube or the Facebook pages, I'll bring them back to him. We will ask them of Miha as we go along. Look, Miha, we are going to go through a few questions to do with your trading as we go through today. But before I did, I'm going to ask you the most difficult question. Are you ready for it?
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Thank you for having me on the show, Paul. Yes, I'm ready, just shoot.
Mate, it's a pleasure to have you on the show and to welcome you to the team, mate. It's nice to be adding more profitable traders to the trading team and Actions to Wealth. Mate, my question is this. How do you pronounce your surname?
It's quite difficult. It's Kostanchek. It was a difficult one.
Yeah, look, I'm sure. And it's like everything, isn't it? In different cultures, these things are really easy, But yeah, I've got a bit of a speech thing. I might struggle with that a little bit. I'm going to keep calling you Miha. Welcome along, Miha. I might call you Miha K for now.
Yes, great.
Mate, it's been a long journey for you, like a lot of people who sort of have found their own way in trading. Sort of, how long ago did you start trading?
So I come across back in 2001. I started trading stocks, and I didn't realize until 2008 when I came across the forex market that I wasn't really trading. I was investing. Yep. And in 2008, 2009, I came across forex, and I really started to dive in then. And so from 2008 to 2015, I was trying to trade, like learning how to trade, being up and down, making money, losing money.
So many people, yep.
Burning accounts, real accounts, losing money. And for the last 5 years, I'm a professional trader. So it took me really 7 years to get to the tipping point.
Fantastic. And I'm going to ask you a little bit later on, I think, on exactly what the tipping point was, because that's for people who are watching trading shows. I think for 90% of them, what's it about is I reckon that so many of them these days, like 2 or 3 years ago, they were just getting smashed and losing lots of money. Now there's a lot of them that are around break even, fighting really hard, and they're just looking for that little thing to get over the line. So we're going to come back and ask you about the tipping point later on. And if you have any questions for me, please put them in the box and we'll get them answered for you, be you live in the Zoom session or on YouTube or Facebook. So about 12 years ago, you started with stocks. What got you interested in the first place? Why did you start on this particular journey?
So number one, it was the Ferrari passing through by me, and you won't believe me. The second was it was a movie. It was Wall Street starring Charlie Sheen and Mike Douglas. And so I saw the movie and I said, with the Ferrari passing through, I said, wow, I want this lifestyle.
It's interesting, isn't it? The lifestyle on TV. I think if anyone thinks that trading is anything like the Wolf of Wall Street, when you're a stay-home retail trader, that's not quite the lifestyle. There's just a lot less coke in our life than there was in those guys' lives. It is an interesting thing, isn't it? That while in those movies they show it as all glam, the real advantages of trading from home is the freedom, right? It's the time to spend with family. It's the time to do your own things. It's not about the Ferraris. It's about to live the life you want to live, right?
Exactly. So one of the biggest questions that I stimulate the students, the developing trader, is the why. And simply because, if your why it's money, and most of the students, the developing traders, the junior traders in the institutions, they would argue with me like, boss, isn't the money the obvious answer? And my answer is no, it's not the obvious. And why is that? Because if your reason to be a professional trader is just money, then here is the question now. So here is the question: can you make $1 million as an entrepreneur? And the obvious answer is yes. So when you compare trading, and being an entrepreneur, money it's not a good reason. It's not a good enough reason, So let's say that you want to make whatever, you know, $10,000 more or 20,000 or whatever, you know, can you do this as a dentist or an architect or a lawyer? And the answer is yes. So when times get difficult in trading, you know, how motivated are you going to be? Because most people, you know, most traders, and I'm not judging anybody because this is life, you know, they quit because it's just the money, you know. The guy or the girl starts to think, you know, you know, maybe it's too difficult. Maybe I can do this, you know, I can be a lawyer, or I can be a dentist, or I can be an entrepreneur, an investor, you know, I can start trading houses, you know, I can go into real estate. So you need something else as a why. And as you said correctly, you know, for me, of course, back in time, me too, I started like, oh, just because of the money, but growing up and moving forward and suffering, because when we draw down in the beginning, you know, it was the freedom. So when you put freedom on the table, you're saying, okay, now can I stop working and can I go on vacation for a month as a lawyer or as a dentist? You know, or as an employee? And the obvious answer is no. So can I travel to a beach and can I trade from there as a trader? Yes, I can. Can I do this as a business owner? Like, you know, I'm an owner of a construction company. And again, the answer is no. So here is where trading stands in front of, I would say, 99% of different businesses and jobs.
I really agree with that. I think the obvious answer to that question is money. Why do people do it? Well, the truth is they do it for money. But I think what you say is really important. Every trader I know has been through some hard times. And if you go through some hard times, you need a little bit more. And I really like the freedom part of it. And I also like this, and it's something you got to be really careful when you say, but as a trader, you get paid precisely what you're worth. There's no office politics. There's no one, you know, there's no game to be played with your salary. There's no flat 3% pay rise. You just get paid what you're worth. And I think over a period of time, you know, I think a lot of people find that initially to be very intimidating. I think they doubt what they're worth, but really, you know, it's a really great thing. And it just means if you can work hard at it and keep getting better at it, you do get rewarded for it and you feel good about it. I really like that. Okay, mate. So about 12 years ago, you started trading. You did it for the lifestyle. You watched Michael Douglas. I've just watched Michael Douglas in a TV show with another old fella, the Kandinsky Report or something, the Kandinsky style. He is definitely aging this quietly. So, mate, we've got traders from all around the world. We've got George in South Africa. We've got Orlando in El Salvador. We've got Chloe and Ash in the UK. Jeff, Mikey, Ainsley, Linka in Australia, myself in New Zealand. Lloyd, Alexis in Singapore, Shukri in Malaysia. We are truly a global company, and I find that when I talk to them, it's a little bit different in every country, right? What's it like being a Forex trader in Brazil?
Well, let's start like with the regulation. So Forex, it's legal in Brazil, but it's not regulated. So we really don't have brokers here in Brazil, inside Brazil, but it's legally for us to trade Forex outside Brazil. So every Brazilian trader must open an account outside Brazil and you can legally trade. Otherwise, you know, we are behind the snakes, you know, we have also the power lines still above the houses, you know, so, and maybe internet, it's not that stable, you know, but on the other side, it's more or less, you know, it's all the same all over the world.
Is there a community in Brazil? Do you get to have a cup of coffee with another trader every now and again?
Yes.
That is kind of cool, man. I can already tell there'll be people in the background asking me when I can run a trading retreat in Brazil instead of Bali. But I've got to say, mate, I spent a week in Sao Paulo and my recollection of it is driving through to the apartment was huge, you know. Reminded me of hosting. We just had to drive before you really get anywhere, you know. Never been tempted to go back to stocks?
Sure.
So what do you trade now? You trade Forex, right? You haven't been tempted to go back and become a stocks trader?
No. I'm sorry. No, simply because, so what is the challenge with stocks and what was the main reason for me to change from stocks to Forex? It's the 24-hour market. And this was, so, you know, I'm not saying that one is necessarily better than the other, but the Forex market gives me the opportunity to manage the trades better, you know, And talking about being a swing trader, I don't need to be glued to the screen 24 hours per day, so I can have my life. And one more time, we have different systems, different styles. I'm not saying that one is better than the other, so like, oh, are you pushing swing trading? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I have friends, scalpers, day traders, but Forex really gives you the 24-hour option. So even if you have a job, right? Because most traders do when it comes to courses and this, you can still trade and steadily, you are growing up step by step, and still you can make money. It's not like, so talking about, and I have some friends who are giving stock courses, most of people are like, oh, I need to take a vacation one day from my job to go into the course, because the stock market is from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. or whatever. In Forex, you can do this, you can learn after the job, before the job, midnight if you want.
What the Brazilian day lines up to which part of the market? Is it around the US Open?
Yes. It's 1 hour before.
1 hour before, cool. Mate, cheers. So you mentioned swing trading. So when you say swing trading, what we're looking to do is we're not looking to trade the cycles. We're looking to trade from one end of the move to the other end of the move. We're looking for the bigger winners.
Yes, correct.
Tough on the psychology?
So yes, but I would stress every strategy, every style, it's tough on psychology, and it goes. So this is my experience, right? It's not generalized, but back in time when I was working in an investment bank, they would give me, my manager would give me a strategy, and he would tell me, okay, Miha, just trade this, and I would have a difficult time, and I would come. So in 2 weeks, I would come to the manager, and I would say, boss, this strategy doesn't work. And the manager would say, what are you talking about? And said, this strategy, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And he was saying to me, oh, it does work, because this strategy, it's proven and time tested. And this investment bank is using this strategy for 50 years. So, and back in time, I didn't really understand psychology. And I was thinking, how is this possible? Because I have a difficult time and I'm not stupid. So, but growing up as a trader, you really understand what is the challenge, who is the problem? Is the problem the strategy, or is the problem the trader? So, and
don't say that, mate. No one likes the answer to that question, do they?
Exactly. And people don't know this, people don't know. People go through courses, people go through strategies, and they're thinking that, oh, the strategy doesn't work, or I mean, maybe it doesn't, but from a broker standpoint, when you work in an institution, those guys have strategies that work, and it's my personality that maybe it's not aligned, or maybe I don't have a skill level. It's something that we learn. Maybe I'm not skilled. So going back to your question, I try to be a scalper, not my style. It's not aligned with my personality. So swing trading is just one. It's one among others. And so it's not better or worse, but what gives you is the swing trading gives you more time.
Yeah, I like that part of it. And look, I know the question I'm about to ask you is a ridiculous question, but what sort of return per trade are you looking for? Are you looking for 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 4 to 1? What sort of result is the kind of result you're looking for in a swing trade?
You mean a risk reward?
Risk reward, yeah, reward to risk.
Minimum. So as a professional trader, and it's one style among others. So I start minimum 1 per 2, and then I'm going to build the position. So if the like we saw 2 weeks ago, NZD CHF, most of CHF pairs, 3 weeks ago, and last week it was NZD was on the table. When the extension of the trend develops, then we are trying to re-enter and re-enter and re-enter. But this requires a level of skill. So
a level of experience, right? You've got to be able to, risk management is really important. And one of the keys for guys who are listening to this, for mine, is that, don't be scaling into another position until the risk is off your first position.
Sure, but it's a skill level, because a developing trader is looking at the same chart as we do, and he is just asking or thinking, because we have conversation like this, like, how are you doing it? So a developing trader will say, just relax, allow yourself some time, and It's no different than going to the gym or practicing sports, you know, it's practice, practice, practice. Now, here is the question. Do you allow yourself enough time to learn this? Make sense?
Yep. Look, I think it does make sense, and I get too why people who do courses are impatient to learn quickly and have immediate results. But really, if you want to go and make your money as a doctor or a dentist, to be a general practitioner, a doctor in New Zealand, you've got to do 11 years of training. After 1 week on a Forex course, you've really got to go and do some practice to become good at it. Look, we were talking a little bit about psychology. I do want to ask you. You're saying that you mentioned it a few times that you're a professional trader. You worked for a bank. Which banks have you worked for?
I work from a bank. It's called Poteza,
Yep.
and I was also with Saxo for a
Yep.
few months, and I worked here with XM.
Ah, nice.
With you.
And just to that, you trade your own money on top of that, right?
Yeah.
Look, one of the truths that I reckon is that the more money you trade, the more that we're looking for smaller annual returns and lower drawdowns. Is that true for you? When you're trading your own money, are you perhaps looking for a bigger return and prepared to go through some bigger drawdowns? When you're trading investor money, you're just looking for consistency.
So it's always related to risk, it's, what can I tell you? If you have an unexperienced investor, he's going to tell you like, oh, Miha, I want 10% drawdown and I want 100% per year. And this is simply, it doesn't work, I mean, in fantasy land, it's okay. So it's related to the drawdown. If somebody would say, okay, I allow you to risk, 10% or 20%, whatever, then we actually are trying to minimum double this. So 10% drawdown, 20% profit per year. If it's 20% drawdown, it's 40%. And there are no rules, but in between, sometimes some years we make a little bit more, like 10% drawdown, 40% per year. It happened already, but there are no rules to this. But the risk is the base. We focus on risk, and the profits are then just trading the strategy.
This is the Morris Capital equation, isn't it? Profit twice drawdown, right? That's really what they're looking for with institutional traders. It's becoming more and more accepted across the market that really is your job. If you want to be if you're a trader who's prepared to have some bigger drawdowns and create a bigger return, people will deal with that. If you're going to have a small drawdown and a smaller returns, people deal with that. What you can't do is be making 5%, losing 5%, making 20%, losing 20%. You can't draw down 20% because it's not worth risking 20% to make 20%. You've got to be prepared to risk 10% to make 20%. And we're seeing more and more of this from traders. Crystal, are you saying that Brazilians are like Malaysians, or that Brazilians like Malaysians? I'm not quite sure. Brazilians like Malaysia. Fair enough. Been to Malaysia at all?
But yes, sir. Brazilian woman, or in general, what he's talking. So I mean, the skin color, it's similar, yes. Or like personality. I don't understand the question.
Relaxed countries, right? We do have a question from Mai. If you're in here as Galaxy Note 20, can you change your name so we can put you on the wheel of names? If you don't change your name, we can't put you in the draw for the prize. And the prize tonight is a good prize. We'll talk a little bit later on. So, Miha, we started off, we were talking about swing trading and the fact that, so for you, it's about taking a position and building into the trend as you go along. I asked you about how important psychology was to it. You said that psychology is important for everything. Psychology is one of the things that created this tipping point for you, didn't it? From being a trader to being a profitable trader.
Yes. So I was researching this a long time ago, and all over the world. I mean, I'm not going to say every country because but I traveled a lot, and here in Brazil too. Nobody is giving psychology courses, and for the institutions that I'm coaching and I'm giving classes, I'm asking the same question. Why don't you teach? Why don't you put psychology? And I got the marketing department always saying because the beginner traders, the junior traders are not interested in. And it makes sense. It's true. If you put a psychology course, it's like learn about the trading psychology, and this is the most significant and most important part. One or two are going to show up.
Yeah.
And in comparison, if you put, oh, let's learn the Fibonacci or the strategy, the millionaire strategy, you're going to have 1,000 and 1,000 students.
Let's be able to make 50 to 1 in one day. You get 1 million people turn up, right? It's just that you can't do that, right? But so
exactly.
Psychology is unglamorous, but it is the turning point for you. And really, look, one of the things that as an international sporting coach, people used to talk to us all the time about. It's very popular these days to talk about the fact that sport's all mental, and the truth is it's not. That's a nice thing to say, but the truth is that if you can't swing a golf club, you can't swing a golf club no matter how good you mentally are. You've got to learn how to swing a golf club first, right? You've got to have the physical skills now, the mental, and for mine, the emotional to it. Certainly, Miha, I will keep talking while I wait for you to come back. There's a bit of lights coming through those blinds, mate. And it's the same with trading, that people don't understand that psychology and your results and the way you trade, they're interlinked. As your psychology gets better, you will start and be more disciplined and trade the way you trade more consistently, and you will get more consistent results. And in reality, you can't actually achieve that. You can't get more consistent results without making the psychology different as well. Certainly, I'm yet to meet a great trader who has a bad psychology. They just don't exist, right? I'm yet to meet a great trader who has a bad psychology. They just don't exist, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. It's where your psychology is a pretty good level of where you are. And look, one of the things that, Miha, it's really easy, right, to sit in a thing like this and say, I teach psychology and I do it in institutions, and then that's all cool, right?
Yeah.
But there are guys in this session, no doubt, no question, right? With the amount of people we've got in the room, on YouTube, on Facebook, there are people following on Twitter. Jesus, this show gets more people on Twitter than anywhere else. There are people who know that the problem they have with their trading is that they repeatedly break the rules. Yes. Can you patch that up in psychology? Can you do enough psychology? Can you help them so that they stop breaking the rules, so they have a starting point to become profitable?
Absolutely. So most of developing traders, so we are asking them to journal. And me too, back in time, I had my mentors, and I didn't like to journal too. And Van Tarp is one of my mentors, and he told me, you need to journal because you're emotional. And I said to him, I'm not emotional. I am black belt taekwondo. And he told me, you are really emotional. And it was a difficult thing for me to accept, and he was explaining to me that, okay, calm down, you are not emotional as a person, you are emotional as a trader, because there is live money on the table. And with big difficulty, because most of the trader, somebody would say we are 40, 50, 60, 70 years old, and somebody would say, oh, journaling, it's for kids. This is a girl thing, So, but slowly I started to journal, and I started to journal the emotional aspect, which was difficult again. I was black belt taekwondo, and I'm a fighter. Why should I do you want me to? And my mentor told me to introspect. Like, okay, now that you're entering in the trade, what are you thinking about? And I was talking to him. I'm not thinking about anything, and he was keep repeating me. You are thinking something, you are just not aware of. So here in Brazil, just an example, we have a trader called Vanessa. She's a woman, and she was journaling for 3 months, and she discovered that, she is afraid of success. Make sense?
And far more popular, far more prominent than people think. Fear of failure is the big one. Fear of success is the one that takes. Look, while you're losing, you can swim around that for a while if you want to. But when you start winning and getting in front, dealing with that is, in my opinion, a far harder battle.
Sure, absolutely. So, and we are also talking to people that don't want to journal, and we are talking like honestly. And I said, look, if it happens that you were born in the right family, with the right parents, with the right mindset about success and money, well, maybe you don't have that much difficult time. But if you're like most of us, like our drama, separate parents, bad attitudes toward money, so when we grow up as kids, we get ingrained in our subconscious mind some kind of beliefs. So if you have a belief that it's common, it's all over the world, like, that the rich people are bad people, and when you trade, you are going to keep doing the same mistakes over and over again. And you are thinking like, what's wrong with me, right? Why I'm keep doing this? I'm not stupid. So we do have some wrong beliefs, bad beliefs, and they are subconscious. So going back to the original question, yes, you can grow and you can win those bad beliefs, but number one, you need to get aware that you have it, and number two, it's like building a habit. You need to reinforce daily behaviors based on the latest study on psychology is 30 to 60 days every day. If you miss a day, you relapse, start over. And this is why, overcoming yourself, it's not that easy, right? It's challenging. It takes some time. It took me 7 years.
Yeah, I find it really interesting, me, how it's we have these really interesting beliefs around the way things work, right? So if I went and saw a business mentor and I saw him for 2 hours and we had a meeting and he wrote nothing down, and I said to him at the end of it, well, where are your notes? And he went, oh, no, and here, mate, I've remembered it all. I think, what a dick, and I'd fire him, right? If I went and saw my accountant and spent 2 hours with my accountant, at the end of it said, have you got all that? He goes, yeah, mate, I've got it in my head. I've remembered everything you said, mate, I'm fine. Oh, my accountant will be gone, right? And yet we think we can trade like that. So we wouldn't take it from a business mentor. We wouldn't take it from an accountant. We wouldn't take it from anyone offering us a financial service but us. We don't have to write anything down. We can just jump into the charts and buy this and sell that, and we just instinctively know what we're doing right and wrong, and there's no need to go. And it's like, oh my gosh! And look, it's weird. And you said you're not judging earlier on. The truth is, there's nothing to judge, because this isn't 5% of the population, and they're a bit weird. This is everybody. This is how humans are wired. This is the way we are. And, you can judge that or not, but it's not like it's a minority and we're picking on them. This is just the way people are. This is the way they act. And this is why trading is simple, not easy. Because it is simple, but the paths to success aren't easy.
Exactly. And I have students coming to me, like, it's not uncommon, oh, I've been trading for 7 years. Can you help me? I've been trading for 8 years. Can you help me? I've been trading for, it's a common pattern, 3, 4, 5, it seems nothing works. So good news, bad news for everybody in here. Good news, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. You simply don't know everything that you need to know. Make sense? So, and it's like this also here, I have a great friend. His name is Marcus, and he knows everything about Fibonacci's and trend lines, and he's giving classes, and he's a better teacher than I am. But talking about results, there is nothing to show, because, and a lot of people around the world, they're great teachers, great mentors, me too, back in time, 7 years ago, fighting with my mentor, and he was telling me, Miha, you are emotional. And I said, no, it's not true, and he told me, Miha, you don't know everything. And I said, I know everything, I'm giving classes. And he told me, you know, and you understand the trend lines and the Fibonacci and the Ichimoku, but you don't understand the trading part of this. And one more time, like, the guy was right, and it's also, as you said, we as humans, we have, everybody's a little bit different, but if we would just listen to the mentors, so it's a concept that you want 10%, 20%, find the guy who did this and just do what the guy says. And it's it's challenging.
Yeah, look, it's one of those things, isn't it? It's easy to say. These things are easier to say and hard to do. I like your thing about the people who are coaches. I coached indoor cricket for New Zealand for the most part of 20 years. I coached Singapore for a little while. I coached Denmark at netball. So I coached some reasonably high level sport. And towards the end of my time coaching indoor cricket, a friend of mine asked me to coach New Zealand over 50s, or to help out the coach with the New Zealand over 50s side. And he was a nice guy, and I'd known him for a long time. And I went along and gave him some help. And one of the things that I realized after 3 or 4 coaching sessions was that he knew more than me about just about everything. But I was coaching men's sides to World Cup finals, and he was coaching Masters sides and losing, because he didn't know how to take, he knew all this stuff. And I talk about something but could he actually here's a plan, Paul. Go, and his name was Paul as well, weirdly enough. But here's a plan. Let's go and take that knowledge and turn it into money. And in our case, let's take that plan and turn this into winning a World Cup. And really, he just didn't have it. And it's not about who's got the most knowledge. In fact, we're cleaning out our company. We've done a bit of a change to our team and said that trading intellectuals have got to go. Profitable traders work for this company. If you're a trading intellectual, no matter how much you know, you've got to move along. Interesting thought from Crystal here. ATW needs neurolingual program traders, hypnotize us to overcome all our childhood trauma. Look, Crystal, as someone who's done a little bit of neurolinguistal programming along the time, I did a lot of that stuff when I was young. And look, the truth is that no one needs to hypnotize you to overcome all your childhood trauma. In fact, that's something you do outside trading, isn't it? You do that because you want to live a life where you feel more comfortable with who you are, and you want to live a life where you believe that you're making the decisions and not the childhood trauma. And look, don't get into this stuff very much, but I'll line my child up against anyone else I've ever met. And if you want to let that stuff drive you, I've got stuff back there that is just unspeakable. I just don't let it drive me, and just don't let it drive you. And we don't need that. What we do need to do is, if we're going to use some NLP stuff, or I'm not a big fan of hypnosis. I haven't seen it work. I've heard about it, I've never seen it work, but I don't think you need all that stuff. I just think you need to sit down and work out what you want, and then work out why you're prepared to get it. And we talk about my pre-trading routine when I sit down and ask myself, today am I going to trade like a professional and amateur? If I'm going to trade like an amateur, I do something else. If I'm not in the right frame of mind to trade, I don't trade. It's a simple thing to do, and you get better and better at it over time. And they're the little things. It's not massive stuff. It's little stuff. It just makes a massive difference. And like all success, it just takes a little bit of consistency to get there. So psychology was the key turning point. And, for you clearly, and I think that this is a really common thing between me and you, is that you're an emotional guy, I'm an emotional guy. That's cool, but in trading, there needs to be an ability to just sit outside that and go, okay.
I'm black belt. I'm not emotional. I'm just joking.
Yeah, my best friend's a black belt. One of my close friends is a black belt, and he is an emotional wreck. Look, so the psychology stuff, everybody can do it, right?
If everybody's willing to put the work. So one more thing we can add to trading, hard work, guys. Hard work doesn't work in the financial markets, because you can work hard as much as you want. If you work hard not in the correct way, no results. And talking about psychology, this is the stumbling block, because we are asking students and developing traders in the institutions too. You need to do this and this and that. And I would ask, did you do this? No, but I'm working hard. Hard work alone is not going to make it. You can stare at charts 24 hours a day, all the year long. If you are not growing in the correct way, and if you don't learn and do step by step what we are teaching you, I'm sorry to tell you, but I mean, just look back. Let's say that you are like me, and I've been trying so hard for 7 years. I've been up and down courses, mentors, whatever. What's wrong with me? Nothing's wrong. You just didn't learn. Or maybe you learned, but you didn't listen. So if you are not doing it in the correct way, and there is a wrong way, there is a correct way, there is the right way, and there is the wrong way. If you are not doing and growing up in the right way, it's not going to work. And this is one of the so-called secrets. Unless you work in an institution, you are not going to learn this. Make sense? So hard work alone, but I'm working hard. Working hard in the wrong way, But it's not just trading. Take a professional athlete. Let's say that you want to be a professional athlete. Those are the same concept. But I'm training hard. Well, let's take gym and bodybuilding. Your coach told you to work on your legs. Did you work on your legs? No, I did the biceps. I did the arms today. Well, you are not following your coach. But I work hard. You work hard as much as you want. It's not part of the plan. So look at the results. And it's all subconscious behavior. I'm thinking that I'm doing the correct thing. I'm thinking that business is normal. In trading is the same, you know. I'm thinking that I'm trading and it's everything is all right. But I'm looking at my results and I'm, you know, what's my problem? You know, you need to work hard in the right way. Make sense?
Cheers, Miha. My guest today is Miha K. He's coming in from just out of Sao Paulo in Brazil. You're a little bit out of Sao Paulo, aren't you, Miha? I'll come back in a second. He is a institutional trader. He is a specialist in swing trading and trading psychology. The latest addition to the Actions 12 team. I do encourage you guys to keep the questions coming in. If you are in the Zoom session, if you're on Facebook, either the Facebooks, if you're on YouTube, you can ask questions. If you're on Twitter, I'm afraid you just got to watch. Miha, the truth is with psychology that it's not a blind art, wishy-washy thing. What you need to do to get your psychology right is to use the tools of trading properly, and they will build your psychology for you, right?
Exactly. And one more time, you know, it's not the tools that we are giving to everybody, like the checklist, the tools, the strategies, everything, you know, if they're not applied in the correct way, they're not going to work. But the basic stuff is like from the beginning, you know, you need to understand why are you doing this? You know, what's your dream? What's your goal? What do you want 5 years from now, 10 years from now? And really dive in. And the simple question you can ask yourself, everyone, it's if you know what you should be doing, and for some strange reason you are not doing it, it's psychology. So you need to dive in and you need to work on yourself. Like, it's difficult to understand from the beginning, you know, like a student here in Brazil, Marcus, you know, and I'm telling you, Marcus, the Marcus accountant can never be the Marcus trader. You know, it's difficult to understand. Why not? You know, what's wrong with it's nothing wrong, but the Marcus accountant has his set of beliefs and actions and habits, and those beliefs are producing good results at accounting, but those beliefs and actions and everything has nothing to do as being a trader. Make sense?
It's one of those things, Miha, my feeling is that sort of stuff in a way makes sense to you and I because we understand it, and the people out there in the real world, I think they find that quite tough to get. But to become a good look, there's lots and lots of intelligent, gifted people who struggle at trading, and it's not, you know, you say, you know, the question is, are you dumb? It's not about being dumb. It's about whether you're able to be disciplined and use the tools and progress through that. And it's one of these things, right? If you know what you're supposed to do and you're doing it and you're losing, that is a strategy problem. If you know what you're supposed to do and you're not doing it, that is a psychology problem. And
exactly.
Always the same. You know, it's about being able to identify that. And I think one of the one of the great things about trading that sucks, and it is both great and sucks, but trading requires you to be really honest with yourself. If you're not honest, being honest with yourself is one of those things that can be really tough because you've got to go actually really deep down. I know I'm not doing this properly, and that's not a nice thing to do. But there's another part of that that goes, you know, so look, I know I'm not doing this, but I know I'm not doing what I should be doing here. And actually, if I'm really honest about it, I know I can fix it. And then it's just a matter of creating a process to fix it, like anything else in the world. You find a process and you run through it. Mate, actually, I find psychology an interesting thing. You know, you see there's no one who's teaching it, but I think that the worst written trading book I've ever read is on psychology. Trading in the zone has a fantastic reputation, and it's because there's 20 pages of genius in there, surrounded by 200 pages of drivel. I think trading in the zone is almost a test for your psychology. If you can read the whole thing, you deserve to succeed. Drew, I'll ask that question in a little while. The next question I was going to ask you, Miha, is tell me in your opinion why so many traders in the world are still failing at trading. I think you've answered it, but if you want to add anything more to that, you're welcome to.
So I have a question. Which held you from success more, fear or greed? For me, it was greed, but remember, everybody it's a little bit different. You know, it could be greed or fear, or it could be something else. For me, it was greed. You know, greed. And talking about psychology, I had a big ego. You know, and this is if you are a trader that has a strong personality. You know, like managers that come to the courses or entrepreneurs, you know. So I'm a dentist, but I'm also an owner of my dentist office. So if you have a strong personality, most likely you have a big ego. And this is many times, this is like, you know, oh, I learned a strategy, but I'm going to figure something better, you know. So Miha told me this, but I'm going to do this a little bit better, you know. So it was greed, and it was me again not listening to the mentors. But everybody, it's a little bit different. So one more time, this is a general concept. You need to do in the correct way, whatever it is, and you know, get aware of the blocks that we have, you know. So I need to accept that. It sounds strange, but it's like the Alcoholics Anonymous, you know. I need to accept that I have a problem. Unless I'm stubborn and I'm telling myself that, oh, everything is all right, or everything is all right, and I'm drinking, you know, well, I'm not going to grow. Make sense? And number two, which other top emotion you had to overcome before you become a successful trader? Great question too. It was being humble, you know. So, you know, we are what is the common Miha doing all around the world? We are all the same, you know. So good point. You can learn this. It's a learnable skill. But what is the common Miha doing all around the world? It's changing strategies, you know, changing styles, always changing, you know. We think that because I have 3 losses in a row that this strategy doesn't work. Not true, you know. So we need to calm down and we need to learn the correct ways. What is the correct way? We need to allow some time. And there is a magic number in trading when we are backtesting the strategies or when we are after the edge. It's 100. 100 trades. This is statistically proven that when you do 100 trades in the same exact way, not changing the stop loss, not adding indicators, in the same way, then an edge is going to be shown to us. Meaning we're going to see the number, you know, how much are we winning and losing. Yes, Paul.
Yeah, we're developing some changes to one of our strategies at the moment, and to do that, we are back testing 29 currency pairs for 2 years. So we're taking 58 years of data to be clear that what we find is an edge and not an anomaly. That, you know, across 29 pairs for 2 years, so 58 years of data, you're going to see enough to know what an edge is compared to just a weird thing that goes on. Look, I want to hold you all up, and I want to bring this back to something because it's really clear to you and I, right? But I'm not sure it's clear to other people. So we talk a lot about fear and greed. And you said that for you, it was greed. And I want to talk a little bit about the difference. So people who are struggling with greed are people who struggle to exit trades because they want more. And people who are struggling with fear are often people who are struggling to enter trades because they're scared of losing. And if you're not quite sure which one you are, have a look and see where you're having your problem. Look, it doesn't mean that when you enter a trade, you're a bit nervous. Often people are nervous for into trades. But if it stops you from entering trades, that suggests a little bit of fear. And if you're in trades and the strategy is to leave and you don't want to leave, that suggests a little bit of greed. So if you're wondering which one you are, that could well help it. Mate, can you understand? Has Helen given you a couple of words of Spanish in Brazil?
I beg pardon?
Is it Spanish in Brazil?
No, it's Portuguese.
Portuguese. Sorry.
Not
So Helen said, "Hola, bem-vindo." Is that Portuguese?
Welcome. Bem-vindo, it's welcome. Yes. Oh. Hello, Helen. Working on my site too. Great. Excellent. And Stuart says, I did not hear back last week.
I'll do this one. Look, Stuart, we are in the middle of back testing 29 pairs for 2 years and completely dragging a strategy to pieces. We've got a full-time team of 4 testers working on it. And to be fair, they've done a couple of pretty ordinary things recently, so we're a bit busy tidying that up. And I do apologise. Maya's in the room. She'll drop a note to James. Please remember that it is Easter. And while we are presenting a course on Saturday, and a lot of us are working tomorrow, the normal tasks will be back on track on Tuesday. So, Mike, can you get a note to James and make sure that he knows to follow up on the prize from last week with Stuart. Now, you're going to want to win the prize for today as well, Stuart. The prize for today is a ripper. Same strategy, same risk on all pairs. For how long did he do to get a good idea?
So great question, Helen. One more time. I'm going to speak in English, not Portuguese, okay, for everybody. So when you are a developing trader and we are saying everybody, there is no right or wrong. You need to build your own strategy. We can give ours, not a problem, you know. But once you have your strategy, then you start trading in sets of 10. So every 10 trades, 10, 20, 30, 40. So when you have 20 trades minimum, something is going to show. Let's say that you are having 10 winners, 10 losers, and you are looking at the edge. There is no edge yet. You go next 10, you have 30. And let's say that you have, oh, I have number, let's say, just an example. Oh, I have 17 winners, 13 losers. Okay, looks like that we do have an edge. But you need to go to 40, 50, 60, not necessarily to 100, you know, because if you have 30 losers in a row, of course, you need to change the strategy. It doesn't work. But if you are 10 and you have 5 winners, 5 losers, if you come to 50 and you have like 26 winners and 24 losers, you don't really have an edge. So you need to build, but at 100, something is going to be shown to you. Make sense?
When you say this, Miha, you're taking 1-to-1 here as your target, right?
Yes, but what is the biggest challenge, Paul, is that in between, you know, students developing trade, they are changing something always. Yes. And we say, oh, they said, oh, boss, I just won a trade. Really? Let me see your trade. And the guy was messing with the stop loss. And I'm telling the guy, this is not a sample. This is not a reflection of your strategy. Or, oh, boss, I just lost. Okay, let me check the trade. You know, and if there is something changed, like I add an indicator or I didn't follow the rules from the strategy, one more time, this trade, it doesn't really matter profit or loss. It's not a sample. And this is, I mean, this is why some students would take 3 months to see the edge. Some students would go over a year because they are not listening, you know, it makes sense? You need to, and this is the challenging part, you know, this is the skill. You need to learn this. And guys, you don't want to hear this, but professional trading, talking about the strategy, it's really boring. It's really boring because it's the same over and over and over, like the banks, you know. You can ask a banker if his business it's like entertaining and it's up and down, and he's going to say no, it's totally boring, you know. Make sense? So if you would compare a strategy to a robot, you know, or an expert advisor that works, robots and expert advisors that work, they're doing the same, you know. It's always the same. They're not changing anything. Makes sense?
It's one of the great things, one of the great battles in trading, isn't it? That robots, let's call them, they execute the same thing regardless, and it gives them consistency, but they've got absolutely no technical knowledge. So they don't know not to trade into major resistance. They just trade into it because it's there, you know. Whereas discretionary traders can come in and change that kind of stuff. And in my view, a discretionary trader who trades well should beat a robot all day long, because the robot will be consistent, and the discretionary trader should have the knowledge to be better than that. One of the great things that trading takes, and as I've just said, you know, I don't know how many lines of, sorry.
I have a question. Question for everybody. Why do you think that, I mean, I have data. Why do you think, everybody, that robots, 99%, they don't work? If 99% of the people all around the world that buy robots, they buy expert advisor, robots and expert advisor, they don't work. I mean, they are not giving the edge or the consistency to the trader. Why is that? Not you, Paul, but everybody. You know, I'm asking everybody. Yeah. I'm going to give you.
If you're in the room, can you give us a thanks, Paul? Thanks for that. Guys, put some.
Market condition change? No. Uses the past? No, not really. Paul, no psychology. No psychology. So strategy must be aligned with the personality. This was me back in time working in an investment bank. I would have a kind of intraday scalping strategy. My personality is a swing trader. So when you buy a robot, the robot works for the guy who invented the robot, because he programmed the robot according to his personality. So I can buy 2,000 scalpers, robots. No, one is not going to work for me. So it works if you are lucky enough to buy a robot or an expert advisor that it's aligned with our personality. Make sense? It's simple as that. You know, if I'm not a quick decision maker, my personality traits. There is no right or wrong. That we are not judging. But if I'm a slow decision maker, you know, I've always been like this. Is my personality. A scalping robot never is going to work. On the other side, talking about swing trading, I'm buying a JP Morgan Chase Unicorn Expert Advisor. You know, it's a swing trading advisor, and I don't have patience. I'm not a patient guy. You know, it's not in me. It's a personality trait. One more time, this expert advisor robot, it's not going to work.
Look, it's
So,
one of those,
but one more time,
it's
yeah.
one of those interesting things as well, Michal. I think I think that the majority of people who are buying robots, I think, when you're talking about a fully automated strategy that's going to trade for you, I think one of the problems is the majority of people don't know where to buy them from. And you buy them from people of questionable integrity, and they sell you stuff. And look, the most common, you'll know this as well, right? The most common robot they sell these days is martingale. So, take a trade, you lose, you double up. Take a trade, you lose, you double up. Take a trade, you lose, you double up. It wins, you're after a small profit. And it does this on and on. It just literally prints money. And then one day, it doesn't win. It takes a trade, you lose double. Takes a trade, you lose doubles. 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 Takes a trade, you lose, your account's closed, your margin called. And that might take 6 months or 2 years to get to, but these robots look amazing, but the way that's what's running them in the background is the stuff that blows up accounts. And, there's not one of the people who buys them that would have the balls to trade like that. And I think you're right about the personality, but you've also got to know how this stuff does work. And I like the personality stuff, right, Michal, that we're all different. And one of the things that people always do is they'll come along and they'll say, can I trade with you? And, it's nice to say, yes, you can, but it's honest to say that it's unlikely you've got the same personality as me. It's unlikely you're going to duplicate what I do. I'm on the bigger side of swing trading, Michal. I'm looking for a higher reward to risk than most people. I'm prepared to go through strings of losses to get it. And I've traded the other way as well. I've done the highest you find your personality, and not everybody can sit in that part of the market and do that. And so it is you do have to match up personalities to be able to copy people and really get anywhere. And you're better just to become yourself, right? Find your way. Mate, I think I've got a couple of questions left for you. We're going to give away our prize today. Our prize is a half-hour one-to-one session with Michal K. So the winner of the prize today will get a one-to-one. When I say live, we're not flying into Brazil. It's a bit tough during COVID time to do that. So it'll be online, but the winner of the session today, of the prize today, will get a one-to-one session with me, a half an hour. Look, I don't think you should be too concerned about it. I'm going to talk about a lot of back testing and robot stuff on Saturday, and I think there's some parts which you can use. I think it really is about, again, how it's used. It's always the same. It's not about the strategy. It's about how it's used. It's not about the robot. It's about how it's used. These are the things that make a difference in trading. Awesome prize. Yes, Stuart, you're looking to win again, are you? Crystal's in the room, and she'll either win it or be one off. You can almost guarantee it. There's been a lot of trading talk here, and I do hope the people that are listening are getting a hell of a lot out of it. When you want to break, what do you do?
So on a day-to-day basis, I go for a walk. It's not good to stare at the charts 24 hours a day. But generally, when I need a break, I just go on vacation. I would throw the telephone in the sea. And I would go for 2 weeks or a month. In summer, I'm taking a month of vacation, and it sounds strange, but talking to the professional trader level, we are suggesting everybody it's something that you must do. Oh, I don't want to go on vacation. You must, because also the junior traders, we encounter what is called traders fatigue. The brain gets tired. It's always information, and Helen said the market is always changing. So true, and we need this. We need to recharge. And also in institutions, we are kicking guys out of the institutions, like go on vacation. It's a must. So what do I do? And during the day, just to go for a walk, drink a coffee or listen to some music, read a book, right? But otherwise, just go on vacation. Whatever. And questions always. It's enough 1 week. It depends on the level that you are. Institutional, professional traders, or you can be a retail trader, in your home office, managing some $500,000 or $1 million, take a month. take a month. You know, it's going to do only good for you.
But
My opinion.
Do you find that when you come back from those breaks, many of the things that were unclear before you went are clear when you come back? Your brain just, you don't ever think about them, but your brain just ticks away and you sit down and you go, oh, that's the answer to that part, you know? I always find when I come back from a break, I'm a better trader than before. And if I just keep trading, I'm in the task. And to get better, I've got to get out of the task. And my brain will just take care of the things that I'm thinking about. Just click through and make them clear for me, you know?
Yes, exactly. It's difficult in the beginning because we are not used to, right? But then it gets easier and easier and easier, you know? And some traders, you know, are complaining where they're back from vacation. They're saying, oh, I missed this trade and I missed this entry. I could be making this and this and that. The market is going always to present with more and more opportunities. But if you don't go on the vacation, then your account is going to go down. You know, we have data. I mean, no doubt about this. You know, we are not Superman. You know, we are not robots. If you want to say if you want to use another word, we need vacations really. And it's not that different. One more time, it's not different from professional sports. You know, the professional athletes. You know, whatever the taekwondo guy, the basketball players, the soccer players. You know, the Formula One drivers. You know, those guys, the professional level sports, which professional trading, it's compared in many aspects to professional sports. All of these professionals, they take vacation. It's a must. Maybe you won't like it, maybe you don't like it, but you know, it's.
Yeah, I'm going to say, I'm going to ask the same question. Got a few people asking if you change your, if you close your trades away, but I'm going to ask you this, right? When I have a break, right, and one of the things that I really miss at the moment, one of my things, I work in Singapore, I live in New Zealand, and quite often I come home via Bali, and I just lock myself in my villa for a few days. You know, I just jump in the pool, forget about it, and you know, I'll answer a few emails, but I don't look at charts during that time, right? And what I find is for the first couple of days, they're still very in my brain. But after 2 or 3 days, they just go away and I can really relax. But it's not like I can go on the first time away, it's all out of my head. It takes a couple of days to clear it out of my head. How about you?
It's the same. It's the same, you know, and I'm not joking when I'm telling, I'm not throwing this into the sea, of course, but I'm leaving this at home. I'm not bringing myself home because it's always something, you know, traders, students, investors, clients, and don't take this with you, because if you take this with you, you are going at night, you know, with everybody sleeping, you're going to check the charts and check the Skype and check the emails, you know, leave this at home or throw it into the sea. But it's normal, you know, we need the brain is going to take 1 or 2 days to disconnect. You know, it's totally normal. And somebody is going to ask, well, but what if I have my positions opened? If you work in a group or if you have a friend, you know, you can or close the positions or hedge the positions or just give it, you know, to somebody else to manage. So if I have some positions opened and I need vacation, I'm calling some of my professional traders buddies and take care of my positions. And they're doing this and I'm doing this for them too. So, you know, have positions opened. It's not an excuse to not to go on vacation. Makes sense?
Mate, got a couple of good questions for you. So we talked about the trades. Do you have any book you recommend?
I beg pardon?
Do you have any book that you recommend?
I don't understand.
So it's in the questions. Have a read of it. Which book?
Any book that you recommend? Any book? Okay, sorry for that. Well, as you said, Mark Douglas, all the books from Mark Douglas, and it's, in my opinion, it's the Daily Trading Coach from Brett Steenbarger. It's a difficult book, and it's deeper than Mark Douglas, and most of traders don't like to read it because it takes an extreme effort to really understand and learn. Make sense?
Yeah.
And so Mark Douglas, yes, Brett Steenbarger and Van Tarp. It's so those guys are all based on psychology, you know. Mark Douglas, videos great. Yes, I agree. Okay, so it would be Mark Douglas, Brett Steenbarger, Van Tarp. Those are the best books I can recommend.
Can you type them into the chat so people can see the spelling of the names? Guys, actually, while Miha's doing that, we will have Mai do the draw, please. So Miha can type these in. Thanks for the questions. Keep them piling in. But we will have Mai do the draw Who's going to be our winner? Who's going to win a 30-minute one-to-one online session with Miha? Here we go, Mai. Jura, you are a winner. Jura, you're in the room. You got 10 seconds to confirm that you are in the room. Yay, there you are. So we will have James contact you and organise the one-to-one session with Miha for you, Jura. And a question from Lewis there for you, Miha.
Miha, what do you do when you have a couple of bet rates? So let's make a great question. Thank you very much. So we need to make a difference between a bet rate and a losing trade. Okay, so if you have a loser and it's part of your strategy, so you entered correctly, you follow the rules of your strategy, okay, you entered according to the strategy, you manage the trade according to the strategy, and you exit the trade according to the strategy, those losers are okay, are part of the game, for the lack of a better word. You know, it's not a game, but those losers are, every professional trader has losers. If you come along a person who is telling you, oh, I don't have any losers, run away, he's or a fraud or he's lying, you know. Losers are part of the game, are part of the edge, okay? Now, what do you do if you have bet rates? What are the bet rates? Bet rates are the trades that I was not obeying the rules. I was not following the rules, right? Like, just as a common example, you know, I'm trading the Fibonacci's and my strategy is telling me to put the stop loss below or above the A of the Fibonacci, and I'm entering the trade and then I'm messing with the stop. This would be an example of a bad trade. Great question. What to do? Stop trading. Stop trading. Go to your journals. Go to your strategies. Call somebody to help you, okay? And don't trade alone. So many times we are asking developing traders to work with somebody. It could be your spouse, could be your husband, could be a partner, you know, could be a friend that it's a trader. So when I am doing these bad trades, bad behaviors, I need somebody to check upon myself, because one more time, you know, when we trade, we are, guys, you want to hear this, but we are subconscious, you know, what clicks the mouse, it's not in here, it's in here. And we have data and everything to prove you this. And it takes some time to accept, you know. This is me going against my mentor telling, oh, I'm not emotional, you know. Well, if you are not emotional, why did you enter here? I don't know. If you're not emotional, why did you exit here? I don't know. If you are not emotional, why did you enter prematurely? If you are not emotional, why did you exit prematurely? We are emotional most of the time, and getting aware to this point and stop doing the bet rates, we need help. Okay, make sense, everybody? So okay, I like to call somebody. Yes, sure, very good. Miha, since you're a swing trader, what have you found to be the best forex pairs for swing trading? Every pair. There are no best pairs, every pair.
I find this really interesting, Miha, that actually, I find this with my programmers, right? My programmers don't understand that a chart's just a chart, and because something's good this week, it can be bad next week. It just, you know, these things aren't. Every dog has its day, right? Every pair is terrible for swing trading when it's ranging, and every pair is brilliant for swing trading when it's trending, right?
Right.
Mate, I want to ask you one more question. How long have you been with Morris Capital? Well, and welcome to the Morris Capital team. Nice to have you on board.
Sure, thank you very much. It was been not long, it's 1 year. 1 year, and for Morris Capital, what I'm doing, I'm bringing people to the so-called incubation and acceleration, you know. But so there are two types of opportunities. So if the trader has 3 or 4 months or 6 months of data that can show and prove himself that he's consistently profitable, then he can go to acceleration or incubation already. If he does not, then he needs to take some course, you know, or buy actions to wealth or anything, you know, just to grow up.
Cool. I was talking about it earlier on today. Adam has told us he's got one spot on the Accelerator program, and he has asked me if I've got anyone that wants it. So if you're one of our clients and you want to have a look at the Accelerator program, do let us know. Look, man, I think we need to wind it up. We've gone just past now. I have enjoyed it a lot, Miha. It's welcome to the Access to Us team. I'm really looking forward to working with you. And look, we say this a bit about things, but I'm a pretty slow moving guy, and it's taken us a long time to decide who was going to fill the psychology hole for us. And I love what you do. I love your commitment to it. And I'm really looking forward to seeing you come into the organization and to make a difference for the trading team and for the clients. So welcome to the team, mate. To those that have joined us today, thank you very much. Whether you are on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, wherever else they stream this stuff, thanks for coming along. For those in the Zoom room, great to have your company. We'll see many of you on Saturday. Oh, and Miha will be on the 5th and the 12th. He'll be doing some free sessions for us. There'll be closed sessions for Access to Wealth clients and online trading profits clients only. He'll be doing on the 5th, I think he'll be doing swing trading. On the 12th, he'll be doing a psychology. So make sure you look out for those. Are under our master, Forex Master Trading Masterclass series, and we will have obrigado. Very nice. We will have access to that coming to you guys through the broadcast scripts, etc. This won't be published outside. This is an internal promotion. So it is the evening of the 5th around 7 o'clock, 6:30 on Mondays. Miha, can you remember?
I believe it's 7.
7 o'clock, and more details will be coming out about this in the next couple of days, guys. So if you want to catch up with Miha on swing trading, that is Monday the 5th. On psychology is Monday the 12th. That is free for the Action Spot team to come and spend an hour with him and learn about these things. Okay, I think that'll do me, Miha. Thank you very much, mate, and to the rest of you guys. Cheers, everyone. See you all later. See you next week.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Paul. I'm excited. Thank you. Bye-bye.
See you Saturdays.
See you. Bye-bye.